Hey, welcome back everyone. This is Judd and welcome to Southman Bushcraft. And today I am at the camp again, and like I said in my other videos that I'm going to try to start doing some more stuff right here in camp. That way the everything seems, is out in the woods, and uh, it's a lot more enjoyable. But as you can see behind me, I went with the tarp on top of the shelter part. I've only done one side of it, so now is to get another one. And let me see if I can move this over here. Get another one to go on this side, tie everything down, and I'm using pine straw as a barrier to keep the sun from deteriorating the tarp, because a lot of these cheaper tarps, they're made out of a plastic material, and you can get that one right there is 10 by 12, and you can get those at most any hardware store, Harbor Freight, or any kind of outdoors place, roughly under 10 bucks. They're really cheap. But if you leave them out in the sun's going to deteriorate the plastic, and it'll start coming apart, and then you got leaks and stuff. But what I'm going to do is I'm using it for a barrier. So I'm actually using man-made material and natural material. So when I put the pine straw on top of it, it shades it from the sun, so it don't deteriorate. I mean, eventually it'll wear out, but it won't wear out as quick. And it's hot out here. It's like 72, 73 degrees out here. I'm out here trying to tie this stuff up, pick up pine straw, trying to make it better. But as you can see, my shirt's wet. But I do have plenty of water. I've been drinking water like crazy. But that's one thing I wanted to show you. And the other is I just acquired a new toy to put in my toy box. And I know a lot of y'all have seen this on YouTube, and and if you're on Facebook, you've definitely seen it on Facebook, and if you're in the outdoor community, you've definitely seen it then. But I was lucky enough to get my hands on the Ltwright Gen 6 Big Larry Genesis, and it's not quite as thick as a regular bushcrafter, but I like it. It's got a really sharp 90-degree spine. The width of it is it's 1/8. It's A2 steel. The blade is actually supposed to be 6 inches, but I measured this one because right here where the blade starts is so close to the handle. I measured it from there to the very tip, and this one is actually 6 1/4, which I think they go for 6 inches. You know what it says on the Ltwright's page. But it's 11 inches overall length with a 6-inch blade. The handle is micarta, black micarta with white liners, and I mean, it fits perfect. It's got a little bit of a palm swell. It kind of tapers up to the back, so when you're holding it, I mean, you get a good grip on that thing. And and also it's a Scandi grind. It's only 1 1/4 height, but I like this a lot. This is kind of like, I've had it this weekend. We had a Wilderness 101 course at the Woods Runner School of Self-Reliance this weekend, and I took it with me and I played around with it a little bit, but I didn't get a chance because we were busy. But this is nice. I like this, and it comes with a JRE sheath. A lot of them, it comes with a dangler that comes on top, and you can see I left the ring on here, but I took the dangler off. That's just my preference. You might like the dangler, I don't, but it hung a little low and it was just flopping around, so when I took the dangler off, it fit me just perfect. And also wet formed the ferro rod loop. It's already set up for a 3/8 ferro rod, but what I did was I wet it and I kept playing with it, and it's stretched it out just enough where I can get a 1/2 inch ferro rod in there. And this one is one that I made, and I got a piece of deer bone off of a deer I harvested, and I put some duct tape around it. So it's always good to have a little duct tape. But then I got full 5.5 inch ferro rod right here. It's a full 6 inch, but I got an inch in here. I mean a 1/2 inch in the handle, so I got a lot of fires in that one thing. And it fit perfect in that sheath, so there you go. Oh, and also this right here, because it's so dark, and I said it in other videos, I like to put like a bright color, just a string or a lanyard on here. And I actually had some fire cord, and that's what this is. It's fire cord. It's got a red strand inside it. You can see that red strand right there, and that lights up like a candle. And it works very good. But I figured, you know, having a little bit on here, some extra fire, can't hurt. And that was another thing that I wanted to show today. But the real thing that I was wanted to show y'all is Fatwood. Everybody asks on YouTube, I've seen a bunch of groups here lately that people are asking, what is Fatwood? Fatwood comes from resinous pines. There's almost any kind of fatwood somewhere in the United States with all the different kinds of pine trees. If it's a resin producing tree, most of the time it's going to have fatwood in it. Well, here in the southeast, I was walking through the woods, and one way to tell is if you find a down pine tree, and you'll see that's kind of grayish material, grayish color laying down there. Well, the sun just bleaches it out, but the pine resin is still in these knots. You can look, it's on one of the dead pines around here in southeast, and a lot of times you'll see green mosses growing on it or something like that. But that's mainly, if it's laying on the ground, that's what it's going to look like. A lot of times when the tree breaks over, you'll have a stump that sticks out of the ground, and it'll have pine resin, or either the root. But this one, I was so lucky to find this one, and I broke it open already. So, and what I want to show you is this. All that white color stuff, everything is full of resin, and this stuff lights like nobody's business. And I'm gonna take my big Larry, I'm gonna move the camera, and I'm gonna process some of this, and I'll show you how quick it lights. This thing has a really sharp 90-degree spine for making fatwood dust like this. I wish y'all could see that, and that's like gold right there. One strike. You see how quick that's lighting up? That right there is why. That right there is why fatwood is your friend in the woods. And I don't never go nowhere without a piece of it somewhere. But being as I found that, that's just score. But if you haven't tried one of these Genesis knives, I'm going to get one of the smaller ones later. But for right now, I'm going to deal with this one because I really like this thing. So if you guys want to check them out at Ltwright knives, they got some good stuff too. Well, this is Judd with Southman Bushcraft, and I just wanted to throw this quick little video up there so maybe y'all get a chance to get out in the woods. You can try some of these things, even try to find some fatwood, but don't rack your brain, because you won't always find it. But if you get lucky enough to find a mother lode, hold on to it. Anyway, this is Judd with Southman Bushcraft. Y'all get out in the woods and have fun.